Hi everyone. My name's Julie and this is Latina Life. This is my very, very first podcast episode, so I'm so excited. I decided that my first episode would be just me, getting to you guys getting to know me. I asked all of my socials what they wanted to hear. Um, Not only that, but I asked them for questions and comments and confessions. We got a few of those too. So I'm just gonna answer them for this episode. But I would like to tell you guys about what my podcast is about. So I'm going to basically say that my podcast is about law and life. So legal stuff like law students, law school, studying, stuff like that. But also life. All of the people on my podcast, they're not going to be related to law. Some of them are not going to be related to law. And we'll just get to talk about regular life stuff. And anybody who is involved in legal stuff or law stuff knows that the law has something to do with every single part of your life. Some part of your life there's a legal matter or there could be a legal matter. So that's why this podcast is where I want to marry all of the life things that we go through with also legal stuff, because that's me. I'm Latina Navarro. So I will start off by just answering questions and confessions and talking about that. But you guys can expect a guest every single podcast going forward. So it's not just going to be me talking for an hour or however long my podcast is going to be. It will be me and a guest. And like I said, the guest is going to be just somebody. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't. Maybe they're an attorney, a law student, a mechanic, anybody. Anybody is welcome on my podcast. So if you going forward would like to be a guest on my podcast, just let me know. You can DM me or comment or just get in touch with me somehow and we'll make it happen. I'm very, very excited, and let's get started. So the very first question is, what impact would you want to leave on the people that you help? So I think the impact that I would want to leave is that I cared. Because, I mean, just me as a person, honestly, I'm very caring, and I see people who are just being people. I'm not very judgmental, and so I would hope that my clients or even people who I work on cases with or just anybody, I just want them to feel, and the impact to be that I cared and I did my best because I cared. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So in 5 years, so I graduated in a year and some change. Okay. Okay. First of all, law people are, you know what? Let me speak for myself and not like throw everybody in my career field under the bus. But I myself am not good at math. And I've known a lot of my friends who are in school with me to not be good at math. So I think that it's a law school or a lawyer thing to not be good at math. But so bear with me. So in a year, which is insane, but in a year I'll be an attorney. A year and some change, because I know I have to, like in a year I'll graduate, but then I have to take the bar in July. So a year and some change. So I'll be an attorney for one of those 5 years. I'll be in law school for, you know what I'm trying to say. See how bad I am at math. In 5 years, though, I'll be an attorney for maybe about 4. So I hope that by then I'll have my own law firm, which is crazy because I'm 23. And so in 5 years, I'll be 28. So if I own my own firm by 28, that'd be really cool. That'd be a big accomplishment. That'd be super dope. What is your wildest dream when it comes to your law career? Okay, I don't know if this is crazy. I don't know how possible this is. I don't know. But it would be so cool if I had a commercial, like a Super Bowl commercial for my firm. That would be dope. That'd be wild. That'd be really, really cool. Explain how you feel on a day-to-day, like being in law school, away from family, etc. So I think if you asked me this question maybe like a year ago, I'd probably tell you that I felt uneasy and sad because I was so lonely. But I've made a lot of friends coming into 2 year. I have friends and buddies, and I go home and I see my family, and I have mock trial. I have a lot of stuff to occupy my time, and so I'm not so lonely anymore. I would think that I feel like it's a comfortable chaos. That's how I would feel. In my everyday life, I'm just like up and down, always at school, always doing something law school related. And I have a job now. I work for an attorney. Love her. But yeah, so I am adding in working and just all of that. So it's a comfortable chaos, I will say. Oh my God, I love this. Someone said, oh my God, I love this about the podcast. Thank you. And if you want to, you know who you are, but if you want to come on the podcast and be a guest, goes for anybody, but specifically this person, feel free. I'm ready to have guests and get you ready, get you in here, mic'd up, and let's do it. But thank you. So someone suggested a topic of modern day feminism. And I will say that something about me is that I won't speak on something when I don't feel that I'm very educated on it. So I do know a lot about feminism, obviously. Well, I guess that's not obvious, but I do know a lot about feminism, but I know that there's a different meaning when someone says modern day feminism versus just regular feminism. So when I do talk about that, because we will, I would like to be a little more educated. So when we get there, I'm excited. Travel stories. Okay. So, okay. This is a funny story. So, my best friend and I went to Vegas the year we turned 21. And we went together and it was super fun. But one of the things that I really wanted to do in Vegas is take a photo with I forget what they're called. Like the girls who are like dressed up walking down the street with all like the feathers. I don't remember what they're called. Showgirls? I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. But those girls, I really wanted a photo, and I took a photo. I'll insert the photo here. Maybe not. Actually, it's one of those like, should I post this? Should I not? Because like, you know, they're barely dressed. But yeah, so I was super excited. I wanted to find one. The day I took the photo, that day I was wearing blue, and so I was like, okay, I have to find a showgirl or whatever they're called. Hopefully, I'm not naming them something wrong. But I wanted to find ones that were dressed in blue. And so we were walking around the mall on the strip in Vegas. And I was like, oh my God, look, they're wearing blue, the exact same blue that I'm wearing. Like, let's do it. Let's take a photo. This was my first time in Vegas without my mom and dad. I was a kid. The last time I had went to Vegas when I was a kid, my parents. And so I was by myself. And so I was like, okay, let's take a photo. And they're like, yeah, of course. Like, they were super excited. And like now I know why. They were super down to take a photo. And so we took the photo and they're like, okay. I think the photo costed me like $90. I think something like that. $90. So everything was done. We were taking photos and then they're like, okay, $90. That'll be $90. And so there it was with all these photos on my phone and just looking at them like $90. Like you could have told me that before we took photos. But that was like the going rate, I guess, for all of the showgirls or whatever on the strip. So I can't be super mad, but I just feel like I got played out. So that was one of the travel stories that I'm just like, okay, I got my little photo. I'm good for the rest of my life. I don't need any more photos. They got me. They got me. Who is more country, Lana or Beyonce? Okay, first of all, I love them both. I love Lana Del Rey. I feel like those are my two like sides of my personality. So Lana Del Rey is like super girly and sweet and like girly pop and just like nice and feminine. And Beyonce's all of those things too, but she's a little more like boss woman, in charge, leader. And I'm both of those things. I can be two things at once. But yeah, so those are my two vibes. I have a lot of vibes. I'm a Gemini. And you guys are probably going to click off and block my channel because I'm a Gemini, but I'll just say it proudly. I'm a Gemini. I say it proudly. But yeah, so who is more country, Lana or Beyonce? Beyonce. She's from Houston. She's from Texas. I'm literally in Houston right now. I will always rep Beyonce. What is your favorite color, though? Pink. I love pink. I am a pink girl. My office is pink. My laptop is pink. My iPad is pink. Everything is pink in my life. So I'm sure everybody knows Winnie the Pooh, but Winnie the Pooh's little buddy, Piglet, he's pink. And he's a little worry. He's anxious all the time and just worried about something. And that's literally me. I always have anxiety. I'm always anxious about something. I'm always worried. And I love pink. So my mom likes to call me Piglet. And anytime like we talk about Winnie the Pooh, I'm Piglet. And my brother's Winnie the Pooh. Because that's our personalities. He's so chill, and I'm just like freaked out. So that's how much I love pink. I am Piglet. But yeah, that's my favorite color. Biggest challenge through law school. There's been a lot. Law school is very challenging for more than it just being really hard school. It's more than that. For me, balancing everything was hard. So I'm a student full time. I'm in class all day. Then I come home. And you have to study all night, and then get a good night's rest. Wake up early enough to study a bit in the morning. Make yourself something to eat for dinner, for breakfast. Make sure it's healthy. Get a workout in. Make sure you're socializing. It's just a lot to balance. And I think for me, balancing all of those factors while also being alone was the biggest challenge. Yeah. When you have to lock in, what's your go-to songs? So, something about me. I love this question. First of all, it's a very 90 question. The person who asked it will understand what I'm saying, but I love music. My mom's a musician. My brother's a musician. I'm a musician. My entire family, my mom's side, they're all musicians. So music is like literally in my blood. So music has a lot to do with what inspires me and what kind of like gets me through every day. So this question is very loaded for me. So when I'm like super, like when I have to lock in and like be serious about something or compete or just do something, because I do mock trial. So I like to listen to music right before I compete. It's always rap. It's always some like ghetto gangster rap. And it's just what I listen to, is that hood stuff. So besides all of the rap music I listen to, and I listen to everything from like Louisiana rap to like old 90s rap to Lil Baby to Lotto, everybody in between, all of them. But one specific song that I listen to is Man Eater by Nelly Furtado, and it's like totally not rap, but but it's like, I'd like to think that I have a Man Eater vibe. I don't know if I'm being hopeful instead of truthful, but yeah, so that's the type of music I listen to when I have to like lock in. Confession. I don't know what the F I'm doing. Just vibing through law school at the moment. Girl, nobody knows what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. All the attorneys that are practicing, they don't know what they're doing, or at least they don't feel like they know what they're doing. The judges, the attorney, and nobody does. All of us are just figuring life out as we go, so don't feel bad. And law school, getting through law school is just straight vibes. You're just vibing. You're just doing what you got to do. Wake up, go to bed. And then at the end of the 3 years, if you did everything right, you got your Juris Doctorate degree off of vibes. So I feel you. Me too. Proud of you. Someone said that they're proud of me. Thank you. I love that. And hopefully the person who said that, you tune in every week to watch my podcast so you can continue to be proud of me. How hard is law school? Oof. I feel like all the law students that are watching this and read that and heard that are like, do I be honest? Because it's hard, but it's hard in like a balancing act way, because the material itself it's difficult, it's challenging, but once you figure out once you rewire your brain basically to understand when something is reasonable or not reasonable, or learn how to learn, everything is a lot easier. But that's the hard part. I think 1 year is the hardest for that reason, because you're learning how to learn. And it's awful. Would you ever leave Texas? Would I ever leave Texas? No. If I leave Texas, I want to live in New Orleans, Louisiana. But other than that, not really. I love Texas so much. I was born and raised. So you know how Texas people feel about Texas. We go hard for Texas. What's your favorite activity to do in Houston? So for those of you who don't know, I go to law school here in Houston. I go to Thurgood Marshall School of Law. Love my school. I'll always rep it. So I live in Houston. So Houston, my favorite thing to do is probably go to the Galleria. I love to walk around and see all the stores, and they all have they have like the super bougie stores. And so I'm like, I like manifest, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy that when I become an attorney and I have money. Yeah, I like to walk around the Galleria Mall. How do you balance school and being a baddie? It's a hard job, I'm not gonna lie, but somebody has to do it. So I just do it with a smile on my face. That's how I do it. And thank you. What type of law do you wish to practice? That's a good question. I want to practice a lot. I want to have my own firm, but specifically what I want to practice is like criminal defense, civil litigation. So that's like personal injury when somebody gets hurt. Like if somebody gets in trouble criminally, like let's say they hurt or hit somebody in the face criminally, and then they want to turn around and also sue them civilly. That's civil. So that's something I would want to handle, and also criminal. So I would cover that situation all around. Criminal defense, civil, and family law. Family law is really interesting. I work for a family law attorney. I love her. She does everything, and so I'm kind of learning a lot from under her. And whatever else I might get into. Whatever else. Oh, immigration. I do want to work in immigration. I have yet to do like an immigration internship, but when I do, I'll be excited. I'll see if I really like it. What's it like being told no? I wouldn't know. Nobody tells me no. The person who asked that is, first of all, you know who you asked. You know who asked that. Love you, girl. But that's like a joke we have. What inspired you to study law? So this is kind of a loaded answer. On one hand, I grew up and I kind of saw the justice system at its worst. I had cousins and uncles and aunts like kind of go in and out of the system, and it was really ugly to see, because if they didn't have a good attorney, or if their court appointed attorney didn't go as hard for them as, let's say, a hired attorney would, it was really hard. I think everybody deserves a fair chance and a good attorney, no matter who you are. And so seeing that, it really like lit a fire under me to fix something, to do something about it. And so on one hand, I wanted to help people who also were going through a similar situation, and be that attorney that maybe like my cousins or my aunts or my uncles that they should have had, and turn around and kind of like pay it forward almost, or put it into action of paying forward. And on the other hand, I did trial like stuff growing up. So I did debate, I did mock trial in high school and a little bit in college, and I loved it. I figured out that my gift is just communication. Where some people make music, some people draw, and some people make art. I communicate and I talk. I don't know how else to describe the gift, but it's my gift. So I decided to merge them, and I got lawyer out of it. So that's why. Where do you get your cute school fits from? I love to shop. I love to be fashionable. I love clothes, and I love expressing myself and stuff. So where do I shop from? So there's a store in the mall. It's called Q, and it gives me like Shein vibes, but not quite, because it's like super cheap, but it's still good, and I like it. So Q, from Shein, from Walmart. Y'all do not sleep on Walmart. Walmart is good stuff. I love Walmart. But yeah, all that. I shop everywhere. The one place I actually stopped shopping is Forever 21. I feel like all of their clothes, I just stopped liking it. Everywhere though. I shop everywhere. What was the hardest thing about moving to go to a new city to go to school? Leaving my family behind. So I left them when I went to college, when I turned 18. But it wasn't so hard. San Antonio's only 2 hours away. I was always going home. I was always seeing them. And then I moved to law school. And law school was so hard, or not hard, it was just so time consuming that from when I moved over here from August, I didn't see them again until Thanksgiving. So November. So August, September, October, November, 4 months. And it was so hard. So that was the hardest part of moving to a new city. And then I just didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody at all, actually. Not a single person. I didn't have any family. I didn't have any friends. Nobody here. So I just had to make a new life for myself. And I have buddies, I have friends, and it's great now. But that was the hardest part, probably, just being alone. No family, no friends. Somebody said, maybe like a confession or just comment, girl, tell me why I'm suing my job for wrongful termination, and the first person that came to mind was you. That makes okay, first of all, I'm sorry that you're going through a lawsuit, but on the alternative, that makes me very happy that you're thinking that people are thinking of me with this type of thing. That's so dope. And I hope I have that influence going forward. My Instagram and just kind of like my vibe is Latina Navarro. So the same way Latina Live is like sort of spelt, it'll be Latina Navarro, and you can kind of just see it. I'll add it here. But yeah, so I think that's super dope. And that means that I'm being recognized for what I'm doing. And I feel like if you ask a law student how law school's going, well, first of all, don't do that. I'm just kidding. But if you do that, we'll be very excited because it's an opportunity to kind of like vent and tell you about all the exciting things that we're doing. So the last two questions that I have is, first, what's your deepest fear? You know, something I've said since I was a kid, and I don't know why I was being so deep when I was like 5, but I don't want to die without making a difference. And I've said that since I was literally a kid. I don't know what that means. I guess I had that figured out when I was 5, but I still am scared of that. I'm scared of dying and I guess not leaving an impact. And it could be the smallest impact. I helped somebody somewhere where they needed it and they'll never forget it. But that's my biggest fear, is at the end of my life not making a difference somewhere. And that's my biggest fear. Deepest fear. Other than snakes, I freaking hate snakes. What do you have planned for your birthday this year? So my birthday is May 31st. I'm a Gemini, like I said. And I don't have anything. Oh, I think I'm going to Louisiana, to Coachella, to a casino so I can play poker because I love poker. Anybody who knows me knows I love poker. Yeah, so I'm probably going to go to a casino, but my birthday this year is like right before my brother's graduation. So maybe like a week after my brother's graduation I'll go, or maybe a week before. But that time is going to be obviously only about my brother. So I'll probably have like a late birthday celebration, which is perfectly fine because my brother deserves the world and then some. But yeah, so that's all I have for today. That was all the questions and comments and concerns I had. But thank you so much for watching. I'm very, very, very excited for my podcast. It's just getting started and it's going to just go up from here. I'm excited to meet all and introduce you guys to all of the guests I'm going to have and have them on. You guys can watch my podcast weekly. I'm going to upload it on Fridays. At what time specifically? Don't know. But on Fridays. I am still a law student. But so it'll be uploaded on Fridays. You can watch it on YouTube. YouTube is where you can see the video and the audio combined. Or you can listen to it and it'll just be audio on Spotify and Apple Podcast. So yeah. So you guys can see it there. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you.